Hello students. Today we will be looking at how we can graphically determine the inverse of a function. For this purpose, we will be working with a linear function y equals 3x minus 1, which I have sketched on my xy axis on my whiteboard. I have also drawn in the function y equals x, and I will explain later why I have done this. Now, before we can proceed to the finding of the inverse function, we need to determine if our function does have an inverse. And for that, I will ask you now to look at this screen in Desmos where we have the same identical function graphed, but notice in blue we have a vertical line, a horizontal line. To determine if a function has an inverse function, we have to apply what is called the horizontal line test. And what we do is we slide a horizontal line up and down our function. And if that horizontal line touches only in one point our function, it means that we will find we do have an inverse function for the function we're working with. In this case, because it only touches once, we are sure that there exists an inverse function for a linear function y equals 3x minus 1. Now we will proceed to finding it. And for that, we will simply locate 2 points of our function. We will work with this point here, which is point 1, 2, and this point here, which is point 0, negative 1. We will take those points now, and we will do a small table, x, y, and we will locate them there. So there are 1, 2, and 0, negative 1. Our inverse function will have those points, but they will be inverted, meaning that in the x, I'm going to have 2, 1 in the y, and my point 0, negative 1 would become negative 1, 0. I will now proceed to locate those 2 points on my graph. So 2, 1 would be right there, and negative 1, 0 would be right here. Let's draw now a line passing through those 2 points and see how that looks like. So my line would be something like this. That would be approximately my inverse function. Notice that my line is a little off on the second point of my original function y equals 3x minus 1. It now makes sense why I drew the line y equals x. Notice that at all times, what I'm doing is reflecting the points of the function y equals 3x minus 1 over my line y equals x. If I take every single one of the points of my original function, y equals 3x minus 1, and I do my variable interchange, I will get each and every one of the points of my inverse function right here. So basically, to determine the inverse of a function graphically, all we need to do is just switch the points, at least 2 or 3 of our functions, plot them in, and we will have our inverse function.